Netcare operates the largest private hospital networks in South Africa and the United Kingdom. Founded in 1994 and acquired Clinic Holdings, Excel Medical Holdings and Medicross. Market cap 35.8 billion rand, price to earnings ratio of 17.7 and a dividend yield of 2.3%. Where do we start, Sasha?
Yeah, so there's something very important happening in the background here too. But first, every time we talk about the stock, we mention the chief because he's
a vet and a doctor.
That is
take it
it.
Away from you.
That is exactly it. So when you go into for a checkup, you also can take Rufus along. But I think important here is the debt reorganization. So they've kind of indicated that we're going to have clarity in a month and a few days. So the middle of January. So when everybody comes back for the new year. Because remember, they've got to refinance that. So they basically took the assets associated with the physical properties when they bought that UK entity, and that's in a separate business of which they are a shareholder, but it's separate from the operating business. So it's a bit of a wait and see, but I think they'll get it done in time, even though they've rolled it over again.
Viv, do you get excited about the vet and the doctor aspect?
I don't know if I'd get
and the guy's a brain surgeon. You may as well add another qualification.
Yeah, just get it like a
rocket
physics.
scientist.
Yeah, rocket scientist as well. That's the only thing we need to have here. Okay, I agree with Warren Buffett when he says anything above 220 IQ points is wasted. You get too smart for your own good. But getting back to Netcare, we must also mention the fact that they have a rather unusual arrangement in the UK in which they have an operating company which operates the hospitals and a property company which owns the properties that the hospitals operate under. And the separation is important because one part, the operating company, is reasonably okay. The property company, on the other hand, may be not in such good condition. And that's something to be obviously taken into account. But it has been mentioned a number of times by many analysts, the fact that should the property company, for instance, go belly up, it wouldn't really matter to the operations of the hospitals because the new owners, be it the creditors, whoever it may be, aren't going to be willing to just kick out their number one tenant here. It's very difficult to find a large tenant operator or to rent out a hospital. It's basically once you have a tenant in there, that's going to be the person you're going to have to keep around. But
Sasha, they've done well in terms of managing their way through the debt restructuring.
Because it couldn't have actually happened at a worse time. And you would arguably think that corporate United Kingdom plus also the property market in the United Kingdom, depending on where you are, looks in a much better shape than 18 or 24 months ago. Central banks globally and specifically in Europe and the UK have been astonishing at creating and having confidence return. So that you would think they're probably about break even, but that's not where you want to be kind of 6-7 years on from having done the deal. But I think they'll be well placed to roll it over at probably not as favorable a rate as they would have got 12 months ago, but still I think in the longer term it'll be pretty favorable. So I think at this juncture, watch closely for the middle of January. We might see another notification that they've delayed it a little bit. Maybe a Christmas hangover, but who knows? If they get it right this time, then there could be some more juice when there's a little bit more confidence returns and people say, hey, they've done this thing.
All right, so Viv, do you want to add anything else before we go to hot or not on this?
Not much. I mean, other than the fact that the UK economy has done better than most of Europe, so that's one positive as well.
Hot or not, Sasha, on Netcare?
It's in the portfolio, and yes, still hot on this one, so still happy.
Mr. Govender, hot or not?
I'm also hot on this. I like the sector, and I think the exposure it has in the UK is actually going to be quite positive going forward.